Today's December 22nd, 2025. I'm doing a move out report for 4220 Galapagos. And we're gonna take a look at the exterior first. There's really nothing of concern. Maybe the trees probably could be trimmed because it's getting a little bit too big. It looks like we have a broken branch here that could probably be gotten rid of a little bit better. And some fading, I guess some dust went in there or something. We're gonna be raking these rocks anyway, especially in the backyard, and I'll show you why we're gonna do that soon. Looks like the jacket to protect the anti-siphon valve may have been damaged, so it might be wise to get a new one of these. And looking straight up, we have a dish. We always try to get rid of these dishes. I'm gonna see if the tenant installed this dish, but given that the fact that it was painted, the pipe was painted, I'm kind of assuming this dish was here prior to the tenant, so we will be removing that dish with the cable. We're gonna need a new one of those too. Okay. Okay, sounds good. So go inside. House is pretty clean, but we still need to give it additional cleaning. I know you can't really tell, but the walls are dingy. And as we walk through the house, we're gonna see some more evidence of that dinginess. And what's fortunate is we don't have to prime it because we painted this prior. All we have to do is repaint it and we're good. Going inside, the dishwasher's a little bit dirty. Wipe downs aren't that good. Microwave is dirty. And these are things we'll charge the tenant to when it comes to re-cleaning the house. It's not that significant amount, but I have to point out in the video as well. So the main expenses are gonna be carpet and paint, and we'll get you quotes for both of those. But there's gonna be some other smaller expenses, like this has a wear and tear effect. I can't blame an animal for that, unfortunately. So we may have to end up replacing the entire, at least rebuilding that entire screen. And you notice there's a slight fading of the rocks, which is quite unusual. I think they had a cover here that prevented it from being sun bleached after a while. But as we walk this backyard, we're gonna see a lot of bare patches and some trash that the tenant left behind. We're gonna get rid of that and charge them for that as well. But the bare patches, we're gonna do some raking of it and just clean it up, make it look presentable for the next tenants. You can see a lot more bare patches back there, especially. Sadly, we have a really nice clean spot for the grout and the normal grout over here. As much as I like to have clean grout, it's $1,000. It's $1,500. It's just way too expensive to clean the grout. It's not worth our time. Carpets are not stained, but they are very much aged. I don't recall us ever having to replace these carpets in the past. And you can tell by the amount of wrinkles that are in the carpet and the amount of wear and tear that's in the carpet. But once again, it's not stained. And now you're gonna see the real dinginess that comes into the walls. We do have a spot here that the tenant did cause damage on, even though they tried to patch it. We will be charging them for that, but there really aren't any substantial holes other than that area that we need to fix. One problem that we're having is the kitchen sink, the bathroom sinks. And this is the better of the three that are upstairs. I'm gonna get to the other ones in a bit. The solution, which I think is now time to implement, I believe I pointed this out to you in a prior video when they moved in, is just to replace the entire cabinet top. Not the entire cabinets. The cabinets are good, but the cabinet top with a granite cabinet, and we buy undermount sinks. Replace the faucet since we're doing that, because they do have a shelf life as well. And we'll get a quote for doing both upstairs bathrooms. When we paint, we're going to be removing two aspects just to help date the house a little bit better. One was going to be old telephone jacks, as No one's using copper wires anymore. There's no reason to have telephone jacks. And alarm systems. So there are sensors that are downstairs. There's an alarm panel. There's also an alarm panel in the garage. And we will remove all those, only because the alarm system cannot be used anymore. It's an older system. Like over here, we have a door sensor and an alarm sensor, a motion sensor. Nowadays, systems have a different brain. They have different connectors. So even if you want to keep it, it would be useless to anybody who were to use it. You could not reactivate the system without changing this entire brain. The garage does have a smoke smell, unfortunately, like as in cigarette smoke. Nevertheless, it does need to be painted anyway. And here's a giant alarm that we're talking about. If the paint doesn't get rid of the smoke smell, then we may have to go additional steps. This garage has never been painted by us, which means it's going to need to be primed and painted. That should take care of it. And finally, the front door, the locks on the front door are old school style, which means we can never reprogram them. It costs money to get a locksmith out here every time. And I gotta tell you, of all the houses I manage, this is the only one that I have to call a locksmith on. The solution really at this point is just to replace the lock and handle, as we're not gonna get a matching deadbolt, and the handle doesn't have a locking mechanism anyway. But when we do that, the door is gonna have to get repainted because we have to, it's just gonna be different sizes, and it's obviously gonna be different color. Other than that, that's it.